Okay, in this video we'll see round robin CPU scheduling algorithm. It is very popular algorithm. It is always preemptive type. A small quantum of time called as quantum is allocated. It's allocated to each process for execution. Once a process is executed for a given period of time, it is preempted and other process starts executing for a particular period of time. We'll see one example here. The assumption is all processes arrives at time t equal to 0 and the quantum given is equal to 5 milliseconds. So there are four processes given P1, P2, P3, P4 with corresponding burst time. So we'll draw the Gantt chart again here for t equal to 0. First process will start executing, that is P1. Since the quantum given is 5, at time t equal to 5, P2 will start or P2 will be scheduled, and this 21 minus 5 becomes 16 milliseconds is remaining still in P1. P2 has 3 milliseconds, so 5 plus 3 becomes 8. So at time t equal to 8, P2 is completed the execution. Then after t equal to 8, P3 will be scheduled and P3 is scheduled. So again the quantum is 5, so remaining is 1 millisecond here. So 8 plus 5 is 13. At time t equal to 13, P4 will start executing and the burst time is 2 milliseconds. So 13 plus 2 is 15. At time t equal to 15, again P1 will start executing and 16 minus 5 becomes 11 milliseconds is still remaining. But 15 plus 5 becomes 20. At time t equal to 20, P2 is already finished the job. So P3 is scheduled for 1 millisecond. 20 plus 1 becomes 21. At t equal to 21, the control will go to P1 because P4 is already completed. So P1, how much is remaining? 11 milliseconds. 11 minus 5 becomes 11 minus 5 becomes 6. So 6 milliseconds still remaining. So 21 plus 5 becomes 26. 26 at 26 again P1 will be scheduled for 5 milliseconds. So still 1 millisecond is remaining. So at t equal to 31 again P1 is scheduled for 1 milliseconds and at pt equal to 32 P1 will be completed. Calculate the average waiting time. To calculate the average waiting time, we have to find out waiting time for each process. So what is the waiting time for P2? P2 started at t equal to 5. So the waiting time for P2 is 5. It is over at t equal to 8. Okay. And P4 started at t equal to 13. T equal to 13 and it is over at t equal to 15. So the waiting time for P4 is 13. For process 3, that is P3, P3 arrived at t equal to, it is started at, sorry, it is not arrived, it is started at t equal to 8, but it is not completed at t equal to 13. Okay, it is started again at t equal to 20. So 20 minus 13 is 7. So we have to add this 7 to this 8 and so the waiting time for P3 is 15. Okay, similarly for P1. Okay, P1 arrived at 0. Okay, but it is not completed at t equal to 5, but it is again arrived at 15. So 15 minus 5 is 10 here. Okay, and once again P1 arrived. P1 is arrived here, that is 21. So that becomes what? 21. So 20 minus 21 is 1. So the waiting time for P1 is 0 plus 10 plus 1, that is 11. So the average waiting time will be 5 plus 13 plus 15 plus 11 divided by 4, that is 44 by 4 plus, sorry, equal to 11 milliseconds. Now we'll solve one more problem based on round robin. Here again we have to calculate the turnaround time and waiting time. The time quantum given is 2. Processes are given P1 to P7, arrival time, burst time, and we have to calculate completion time, turnaround time, and waiting time. So once again we will draw a Gantt chart. At time t equal to 0, how many processes are arrived? Only one, that is P1. So we will start executing that, and the quantum here is 2. So at t equal to 2, P1 will be out in the ready queue. Okay, and at t equal to 2, how many processes are arrived? P2 and P3. Okay, so it's a good practice to write the ready queue here. So at t equal to 0, you can see here t equal to 0, P1 has arrived, and how many millisecond burst time is 4 milliseconds. Okay, so at t equal to 2, what will happen? P1 will be out. So how many milliseconds are remaining for P1? It's 2. At the same time, P2 is also arrived and P3 is also arrived. So in here in the Gantt chart, you write P2 again for the 2 milliseconds, then P3, and the part of P1 which was remaining. So that will be also scheduled again. So at time t equal to 4, what will be in the ready queue? P4. Okay, see here 3. At time t equal to 4, P4 and P5 will be there in the ready queue. At the same time, the remaining part of P2 will be also there in the ready queue. Okay, so after this you will get P4, P5 and the remaining part of P2. Okay, but still 1 millisecond of P2 is remaining. Okay, so at t equal to 6, what will happen? At t equal to 6, P6 and P7 will be also there in the ready queue. P6 and P7. Along with P6, P7, the part of P5 and part of P2 will be also there in the ready queue. So we'll get here P6, then P7, P5 and P2. Okay, so at t equal to 8, what will happen? T equal to 8, only P6 1 millisecond is remaining and P5 2 milliseconds is remaining. So at t equal to 22, P5 will be ready. So better to write the ready queue like this. Okay, for your understanding I have written for a particular time here ready queue. Okay, now after that, once you got this completion time, we can write P1. Time completion of P1 is how much? Time completion of P1 is 8 here, so we'll write 8. Then time completion for P2 is, P2 has arrived here, but again once again P2 arrived here and here also, so it is completed at t equal to 19. So it is completed at 19. Then P3 is completed at t equal to 6. Then P4 is completed at t equal to 9. Then P5 entered here, then once again here and once again here. So P5 is completed t equal to 22. P6 is completed at this t equal to 20. So it is here 20. Then P7 is completed at t equal to 16. Okay, so you got this now, completion time. Now you know turnaround time is completion time minus arrival time. So you'll get this 8 minus 0 is 8, 19 minus 1 is 18, then 6 minus 2 is 4, 9 minus 3 is 6, 22 minus 4 is 18, 20 minus 5 is 15, 16 minus 6 is 10. Now waiting time. What is waiting time? Waiting time is turnaround time minus burst time. So 8 minus 4, 8 minus 4 becomes 4, 18 minus 5 is 13, 4 minus 2 is 2, then 6 minus 1 is 5, 18 minus 6 is 12, 15 minus 3 is 12, 10 minus 1 is 9. So you got this. So after getting this, we have to calculate the average waiting time, that is 4 plus 13 plus 2 plus 5 plus 12 plus 12 plus 9 divided by 7, that is 8.14 time unit.